Y'all keep asking me about Meghan. Let me be clear, I don't know her. And yes, I ignored her request to be in my film. But tonight ain't about her. This moment exists because of Catherine, her heart, her grace. I applaud and bless the new King and Queen of England, William and Catherine.
The majority of people believed that the turbulence surrounding the royal family had subsided to rumors and sporadic tabloid outbursts. On the throne is King Charles. The Sussexes are establishing their life in California away from Buckingham Palace, and Prince William is getting ready for his future position. Everything appeared to be ordinary and predictable. Then came Tyler Perry, a powerful figure in Hollywood whose words had the potential to either strengthen or destroy empires. He took the stage at the BET Awards one star-studded evening under the bright lights of Los Angeles. The audience anticipated his typical mix of inspiration and humor, but what transpired was much more explosive. Celebrations of black entertainment brilliance had taken place throughout the electrifying evening. Perry accepted an award for his achievements in philanthropy and movies while wearing a well-tailored suit. The audience leaned in to hear the change in tone as he talked. He began by expressing gratitude to mentors and collaborators. But then he turned around. The crowd fell still as he said, "Now listen. You all keep asking me about certain folks in the spotlight," in a steady yet sharp voice. "Let me be clear. I do not really know her like that. And yes, I did turn down her request to be in one of my films. That is just the truth." The murmuring began right away. Everyone was aware of the person she was referring to. Perry was once close to Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. During their turbulent departure from royal life in 2020, he had taken her and Prince Harry into his Beverly Hills residence. He even became the godfather of their baby Leet. But it wasn't about doing past favors again tonight. Perry went on. This event, this moment, exists because of something real, something heartfelt, something sincere that came from Catherine, the Princess of Wales. This was made possible by her grace, compassion, and dedication. We are here to honor that. Initially hesitant, the applause increased as the ramifications became clear. Perry wasn't merely complimenting Catherine. He was making a sharp contrast. And I want to say this from the bottom of my heart before I leave this platform. I praise, rejoice, and bestow blessings upon King Charles and Queen Camilla, the new monarchs of England. May they rule with courage, love, and harmony. However, the underlying message was evident, particularly when he acknowledged William and Catherine as the real future. Outside, the media storm was only getting started, but the room erupted. Clips and hashtags went viral on social media. Had Tyler Perry just made Meghan look bad in front of the world? And why give Catherine such high praise? Unspoken conflicts and complex histories held the answers. Discover what led to this shocking revelation by continuing to read. Insiders discussed the backstory in whispers as the evening went on. Perry had always had a complicated connection with the royal family. Through mutual acquaintances in Hollywood, he initially got to know Meghan and helped her through her midlife crisis. However, there have been mounting distance-related rumors for months. According to reports, Perry graciously turned down Meghan's request for a part in one of his next Netflix movies. Some who were connected to the production stated that it was a financial choice, while others alluded to more serious complaints. Perry, who is renowned for his straightforward style, allegedly felt taken advantage of in the past. In the midst of Sussex's well-known endeavors, his generosity was taken for granted. In the meantime, Perry's efforts to improve underprivileged neighborhoods were in line with Catherine's discreet support of charity causes. There were reports of private letters in which Catherine showed appreciation for Perry's films that addressed societal themes like poverty and domestic abuse. However, they were never made public. Perry decided to emphasize the delicate alliance that had grown out of their mutual regard that evening. There could not have been a more striking contrast. One woman is portrayed as pleasant and dedicated, while the other is perceived as opportunistic. Royal observers noticed the timing, but the palace said nothing. With William taking the lead, and King Charles dealing with rumors about his health, Perry's remarks seemed to be an endorsement from across the Atlantic. How might this affect the broken family? Cracks that were deeper than anyone could have imagined were becoming visible as the fog began to clear. Long before Perry's statement, tensions had been seething deep within the glamorous world of Hollywood. Tyler Perry, the self-made billionaire responsible for hits like Medea and expansive studios in Atlanta, has always handled celebrity with a mix of charm and toughness. When Meghan reached out to him in the midst of her royal problems in 2018, they became friends. Inspired by her tale, Perry offered his house as a haven. It was a show of unity that garnered media attention and solidified his support for Sussex. However, as time went on, fissures emerged. Meghan's requests had increased. According to insiders, advice on security came first, followed by introductions to prominent figures in the field. In an attempt to capitalize on their relationship for a Hollywood return, she reportedly requested an appearance in Perry's most recent drama series by 2024, but Perry rejected her because his vision came first. He insisted in private that it wasn't personal, but the rejection hurt. There were rumors that Meghan felt deceived, particularly since her own initiatives, like Archewell, were being questioned. Ever the diplomat, Perry remained silent until that fatal award ceremony. The Princess of Wales, Catherine, had been quietly crafting her own story on the other side of the sea. She concentrated on early childhood development and mental health, and was well known for her composure in the face of personal struggles, such as a fight with cancer in 2024. Perry found common ground with his foundation, which backed similar causes. According to reports from 2023, Perry's work on family dynamics in films was praised by Catherine's staff during a visit to the United States. This led to a correspondence that developed into respect for one another. Perry recognized a sincere, scandal-free advocate in Catherine. It was no coincidence that the award ceremony took place. Although the organizers were aware that Perry's speech would attract attention, none of them foresaw the royal turn of events. Perry thought back on his journey from destitute to Hollywood mogul as he got ready. He thought Catherine epitomized authenticity, something he valued. In comparison, Meghan's recent interviews seemed staged. The impact was deliberate, yet the words flowed freely when he took the stage. The audience applauded Catherine while gasping at the mention of Meghan. Phones buzzed with responses backstage. While Sussex pals hurried, royal aides in London kept an eye on the fallout. The media jumped right in. Betrayal was screaming in the headlines. Tyler Perry criticizes Meghan while praising Catherine, the future queen. Perry's honesty was praised by some on social media, while others accused him of being unappreciative. Why now? Though, according to sources, Perry became tired of getting sucked into royal disputes. He chose stability over drama in his speech, which was a line in the sand. Questions surfaced as the storm built. What would Meghan say? And what secrets from their common history drove this? As a transatlantic gap grew, the palace walls seemed to reverberate with anticipation. Perry's remarkable journey must be followed in order to appreciate the significance of his remarks. Tyler Perry was raised in poverty and abuse after being born in New Orleans in 1969. Inspired by Oprah Winfrey's advice to journal pain, he found solace in writing. He started his empire in the 1990s with stage plays, focusing on Black audiences that mainstream Hollywood frequently overlooked. His 330-acre studio in Atlanta rivaled large lots by 2019. In 2020, Forbes declared him a billionaire, demonstrating his perseverance. Perry's entry into the world of royalty came as a surprise. In the midst of Meghan's media attention in 2018, he wrote her a letter of support. After the Sussex family fled to Canada and then California, their relationship grew stronger. Perry gave his $18 million mansion, replete with security, providing them privacy. He attended Archie's christening and became Lilith's godfather in 2023. Publicly, he defended them, calling media attacks racially motivated, yet strains evolved. In 2024 interviews, Perry alleged boundaries, stating friendships involve reciprocity. Rumors of Meghan's unmet requirements, such as studio access for her Netflix cooking show, arose. According to reports, Perry rejected, citing scheduling. This went against his reputation as a giving mentor. In the meantime, he began to admire Catherine. In keeping with Perry's efforts, Catherine visited a Boston charity in 2022, while on a U.S. tour with William. There was no face-to-face encounter, but there was praise. This change was reflected in Perry's speech. He demonstrated his commitment to tradition by raising Catherine and blessing Charles and Camilla. His conservative faith-based beliefs were noticed by analysts as being more in line with Catherine's modest service than Meghan's audacious activity. Context was the source of the humiliation angle. Perry's rejection of Meghan's request for a movie seemed harsh. Fans dissected the video, noticing his forceful tone. What implications did this have for the royal split in Hollywood? Stars like Oprah, who was previously Meghan allies, remained silent, which led to conjecture. Perry was unfazed by the flood of responses and continued to concentrate on future initiatives. but a flood had been released by the speech. Tabloids investigated previous favors and asked whether Perry felt taken advantage of. Amidst the controversy, in Sussex, one insider said he regretted playing the godfather. According to the story, Perry was dejected and turned to Catherine as a source of strength. Her quiet power reflected his own ascent. As the storm grew stronger, voices came from all over the world. Would the rift get deeper or mend from this fracture? The drama that was developing had the answers. Perry's alleged snub against Meghan was the focal point of the media hysteria. Despite being measured, his admission that he disregarded her request for a movie bore the sting of public rejection. Perry revealed a weakness. Meghan had presented concepts that combined her activism with narrative in her quest for independence, following the royals. Perry's no was more than a simple rejection. The hurt was exacerbated because it came from a purported friend. Reactions differed. Supporters of Sussex condemned it as betrayal, citing Perry's prior assistance. In Spare, Harry continued, "He housed us when no one else would. Perry's charity was a choice, according to critics, and he owed nothing." The timing of the speech seems opportunistic, given Meghan's low profile following the conflicting Garcelle evaluations in 2024. Perry may have removed himself in order to protect himself from criticism stemming from his personal scandals or Diddy associations. Perry's compliments for Catherine, on the other hand, emphasized distinctions. Referring to the event's charitable purpose, he described her as caring. Perry's anti-abuse initiatives resonated with Catherine's 2023 Forming Us campaign, which focused on the early years. Perry gave her more credibility by referring to her as the new queen in spirit in response to reports of her private contributions to U.S. organizations. Perry thrilled fans and irritated traditionalists by elevating her mother of etiquette. Meghan's camp reacted quietly. A statement highlighted continued friendships, while insiders expressed disappointment. According to reports, Harry made contact. Tense conversations. Meghan attended gatherings without her drama and publicly concentrated on charities. However, the speech brought up memories of her royal departure, when she felt abandoned. Perry's change of direction represented Hollywood's general disenchantment with Sussex stories. The gap was exacerbated by the media. UK newspapers praised Perry's common wisdom. US media outlets discussed allegiance. Hashtag Team Catherine was trending as social media battles raged. It was perceived by analysts as a cultural conflict. Catherine's diplomacy and Meghan's advocacy. As a bridge, Perry took sides. What secrets did he possess? Deeper problems were suggested by rumors of tense calls after the exit. There was more to the humiliation than just words. Alliances were publicly dismantled. Questions remained when the dust settled. Was this a turning moment, or could Meghan turn things around? Catherine turned out to be the unexpected winner amid the mayhem. With Perry's support, she was portrayed as a woman of elegance under duress and the monarchy's savior. Her transformation from a commoner to a princess was reminiscent of fairy tales, but with genuine tenacity. Born into a middle-class family, in 1982, Catherine made her way through college and met William. Billions watched their 2011 wedding, but difficulties ensued. Family disputes, media attention, and health concerns. In 2024, while fighting cancer and raising 3 children, Catherine's fortitude was evident. She calmly went back to work, concentrating on issues like mental health. Fireheads. This was supported by Perry's compliments, which described her dedication as genuine. Quiet partnerships were disclosed by insiders. Perry was contacted by Catherine's team regarding diversity in early education films. He disregarded William and gave her a nod as the future queen, quietly highlighting her popularity. The public's reaction was enormous. Fans told tales of Catherine's generosity, from hospital visits to charity galas. And polls revealed that her popularity was skyrocketing, particularly in the U.S. In contrast to Meghan's seeming ambition, the speech humanized her. It strengthened the Windsor notwithstanding Republican calls, according to royal specialists. According to reports, William Protective was grateful for the assistance, but there were concerns. Perry's Netflix partnerships were linked by critics to opportunism. Catherine remained silent and remained above fray. Her deeds spoke. Unity was highlighted in a Christmas Carol service in 2025. In keeping with her manner, the victory was understated. Catherine remained focused while the media scrutinized her, exhibiting the fortitude Perry valued. The castle was teeming with possibilities. What would this mean for family dynamics? The speech sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace. Ever diplomatic, King Charles kept an eye on things from a distance. According to sources, he saw it favorably, strengthening stability. Directly blessed. Camilla grinned in private, but conflicts with Harry made things more difficult. Charles wanted to make amends, but Perry's remarks made things worse. William responded with restrained appreciation. He considered the accolades as well-deserved because he was close to Catherine. In the midst of constant criticism from Sussex, insiders marked on his relief. According to reports, Anne, the sensible princess, laughed and appreciated Perry's candor. Whispers implied approbation, but other royals remained silent. Meghan's side was furious with Harry. Harry, who was protective, was deeply embarrassed. Cracks appeared, but their Montecito circle regrouped. Oprah and other allies kept their distance and concentrated on her brand. The response brought attention to the isolation of once Hollywood darlings, who are now facing criticism. Voices from throughout the world spoke up. Celebrities are split. While some praised Meghan's innovation, others admired Catherine's grace. While cultural analysts discussed race and class, politicians remained impartial. The story was molded by the inner circle's reaction. Defense for the Sussex, unity for the Windsor. A choice bridge or burn loomed as the dust settled. One of the most dramatic media frenzies in recent royal history was sparked by the aftermath, which spread like wildfire across continents. Everywhere around the world, headlines were bleeding. At the Bet Awards, Perry criticizes Meghan and declares Catherine to be the real queen. The speech tape received millions of views in a matter of hours on websites like YouTube and TikTok, where users analyzed each stop and nuance. The hashtag Tyler Perry's speech shot to the top of the global trends on social media, causing havoc. The two duchesses were frequently pitted against one another in viral edits that contrasted Catherine's calm politeness with Meghan's audacious militancy. Perry's supporters praised his unvarnished candor as a welcome change in celebrity society, while his harsh detractors condemned it as covert misogyny and charged that it was causing needless divisiveness among strong women. Online publications and tabloids relished the drama, unearthing minute facts from the past to stoke the flames. Reports of Meghan's purported demands while residing in Perry's Beverly Hills estate appeared, portraying her as entitled in sharp contrast to positive testimonies of Catherine's modesty and covert charitable endeavors. Talk programs in the United States, such as The View and Jimmy Kimmel's late-night segments, plunged headlong into arguments, with some panelists characterizing the episode as a repetition of royal racism. Myths that had dogged Meghan since her time in the palace. Given that he was Leet's godfather, Perry himself was the target of a torrent of criticism on X and Instagram from Sussex supporters who accused him of betraying Leet. Unfazed, he remained steadfast and sent out a string of tweets, highlighting the value of speaking from the heart and being truthful, which only served to intensify the conversation. His popularity declined among ardent Sussex fans, which resulted in boycotts of his films, but it increased elsewhere, especially among conservative circles and royal admirers who viewed him as a champion of tradition. As the storm continued, public opinion underwent a seismic shift. According to recent studies from sources like YouGov and Pew Research, Catherine's Favoutly ratings are at all-time highs. Supported by Perry's unsolicited endorsement, which presented Meghan as the relatable future of the monarchy, Meghan's numbers stayed stable but grew more adored as her followers mobilized under hashtags like #StandWithGan to refute the narrative. Both women's charities saw unanticipated increases in donations. In the midst of the debate, Archwell's mental health programs attracted fresh attention, while Catherine's early childcare initiative experienced a 20% increase. Deep socioeconomic divisions were exposed by the hurricane. Cultural pundits on podcasts and op-eds who examined the gender dynamics and racial undertones at work accentuated the conflict between progressive modernity and deeply ingrained tradition. Questions lingered like storm clouds as the fury grew more intense. Given the signs of reconciliation occasions like the 2025 Baby banquet where he and Meghan met, would Perry provide a clarifying apology to patch up the apparent rift? Or would there be more shocking disclosures, maybe from insider reports of their broken friendship or emails that were leaked? The embarrassment was further compounded by rumors from Hollywood that Perry's remarks were motivated by grievances about unpaid debts or unreciprocated favors. As reported in publications like NewsNation, everyone was left wondering if this was the end of an era or the beginning of even more unrest, as the public outcry not only changed how people saw the royals but also brought attention to how unstable celebrity partnerships can be. Tyler Perry's stirring speech at the 2025 Bet awards continues to reverberate across both royal drawing rooms and Hollywood hallways, with hardly any damage. Perry, the uncompromising creator of his enormous entertainment empire, returned to his studios in Atlanta. In addition to confirming his reputation as a truth-teller, his audacious statement increased the number of people who watched his most recent works. Insiders whispered that his connection with the conventional royals opened opportunities to new partnerships, possibly even with British filmmakers inspired by his, while followers scrutinized his words for hidden undertones. However, Perry continued to be mysterious, concentrating on charitable endeavors such as his recent $1.4 million donation to assist families in the face of SNAP benefit reductions, demonstrating that his dedication went beyond the public eye. Despite the hurt of being publicly rejected, Meghan, ever the tenacious force, turned to new endeavors. Reports from Montito said that she was working harder on her archival projects, such as a possible Netflix cookery series that focused on ethnic fusion and empowerment. She went to high-profile events like the 22-5 Baby 2 Baby Gala with Perry. Despite the humiliation angle dominating headlines, this suggested a stealthy reunion that fueled rumors of repaired fences or calculated optics. There were rumors that she will appear in a future movie as a fictionalized version of herself, demonstrating her resolve to rewrite her story according to her own terms. However, the wounds were extensive. Oprah and other allies remained remarkably silent, leaving Meghan to negotiate a divided public on her own. With her modest victory, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, emerged as the monarchy's contemporary lighthouse, her star beaming even brighter. Polls revealed a rise in her popularity ratings following her speech, demonstrating the global impact of her continued work in early childhood development and mental health. Royal observers observed how Perry's admiration reflected her grace in real life, from respecting customs like her moving remembrance Sunday attire honoring Princess Diana to assisting King Charles with family decisions. William allegedly felt a newfound sense of purpose as he stood firmly at her side. Joint engagements highlighted their supportive yet competitive character. The monarchy itself looked forward to the future with renewed vigor. Perry's support serves as a transatlantic barrier against Republican rumors. Even though the reign of King Charles and Queen Camilla gained some cultural legitimacy, particularly in diverse communities where Perry's influence was strong, the wounds were still clearly visible. In the midst of persistent media jabs and erased party images from occasions, like Kris Jenner's 70th birthday celebration, family divisions between the Wales and Sussex families widened, and reconciliation appeared farther off than before. Perry's remarks sparked more extensive discussions about the price of public partnerships, the power dynamics between celebrities and crowds, and loyalty in the brutal world of celebrity. What if private conversations were used to rebuild bridges? Or if unsolved complaints gave rise to new storms? Breath held in expectancy. The world watched. Ultimately, it was a timeless story about decisions made in the face of fire. Hope glowed against the odds, yet regrets remained like shadows. Tell us what you think. Was Perry correct to draw that boundary? How does this permanently alter the royal family? What more secrets might come to light next? Like the crown itself, the narrative is still developing.